Diamond Niner Gals podcast for week 7 of the 2023 season. This is Nick. I'm here with Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Producer Brad making it all go.
Hey.
And last but never, ever least, Coach Ashley Chastain.
Hey, guys.
How's everybody? How we feeling? New week.
I'm great.
Well, you should be great.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Doing good.
Okay. All right. We got a lot to get into. Big week of Niner Gal softball. So let's jump in. Start with our weekly recap. We got to roll it back. Sometimes, guys, it feels like by the time we get to doing this show and we talking about like last Tuesday, of course it is Monday we record this. So it's like, that was like a long time ago, right? But still, we go back. Back last Tuesday, the Niner Gals welcomed the Louisville Cardinals to the Sioux. It was a Tuesday afternoon matchup. But it wasn't very hospitable because the Niner Gals did not let the Cardinals stay all 7 innings. Anna Devereaux's third RBI of the day put the Niners up 8 in the bottom of the 6th to run rule the visitors. Sam Gress pitched all 6 innings as the Niners picked up the W 10-2. Another good afternoon at the Sioux, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. It does seem a long time ago since that happened, but it's nice to revisit it and talk about it again because it was a fantastic performance on all sides of the ball. I mean, I was so proud of them. The highlight, I think, was Sam, just pitched a complete game for us, as she did a lot in week 6 of our season. So, yeah, it was a 3-hit game for Cass Krupit. It was a 2-hit game for Savannah Wynn. It was a complete game win for Sam Grass. Just a lot of really good stuff. And I was just really proud of them. We lost the previous Sunday to FIU. We still won the series, but we lost game 3, and we were really disappointed about that. And or it was Saturday, actually, because of the rain. But coming off of Monday's practice into the Louisville matchup, I thought they were ready. I thought they were ready to get back on the field and beat someone, and they didn't really care who it was. They just wanted to go out and perform really well. So it was a great start to the week for us, and really proud of Cass and Savannah and Gress and really the whole team for that one.
All right. After Tuesday, Niners went on a road trip down to Clemson, take on another ACC opponent. This game was a tight game right into the 5th inning. I think we're down 2-1, and Niners got an RBI single from Anna Devereaux, second, trailed 2-1 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Clemson scored 7. That game ended up 9-1. Coach, talk a little bit. Forgot to mention they're the 4th-ranked team in the country, Clemson Tigers. So, Coach, talk a little bit about that experience down in Clemson and what you guys learned from that trip.
Yeah. Well, the trip started off awesome because, and I'm being a little sarcastic there, but our bus, it was logistically a tough week for us. We played Tuesday, which is a little unusual for us. And then we beat Louisville Tuesday and then got up Wednesday ready to go down to Clemson and had plans to leave in plenty of time from Charlotte, hit no traffic, get down there, have pregame meal. And then the bus gets to the Wells Fargo Fieldhouse parking lot and has an oil leak. And so that put us behind about 45 minutes leaving campus, which we still had plenty of time to get there and get all of our warm-ups and stay on our timeline. But, the trip started off kind of interesting, a little adversity there. But, yeah, Clemson's at the time ranked 4th. I'm not sure what they are after the weekend was over, but we knew going down there that we needed to play our best in every area to give ourselves a chance to win. We decided to give the start to Lena Elkins. And, I think for Lena, the decision to give her the ball versus going back and giving Sam Gress the ball again is, Sam, I knew kind of looking into the week that we needed Sam to pitch probably 2 full games for us down at FAU, which ended up happening. We'll talk about that in a second. But I thought it was a really good opportunity to give Lena the ball as a freshman. She's had a lot of success for us up to this point, and it was a big matchup. So we've kind of protected her a little bit here and there with who we've matched her up with, and how we've grown her up here in the first half of season. And I thought she was ready for it. And to be honest, she pitched really well. She gave us a chance to win. in the 5 innings that we got from her. And their leadoff, Clark, Lena missed a pitch. When you miss against someone like Mackenzie Clark in the leadoff spot, Clemson, the ball went out and made it 4-1 at that point. And, we gave some other arms in the bullpen an opportunity to come in that situation and see if they could get some outs for us and keep the game close. And unfortunately, it just didn't go that way. Clemson, as soon as you give them anything, they just are going to, they're going to bury you. And that's what they did, unfortunately. So we were really disappointed because the game in the dugout, the game got out of hand really fast. We felt like we were in it 2-1. Clark hit the ball out, made it 4-1. We went to Brooke Bowling and then Mill Weirchuck, and we blinked and the game was over. So disappointed in the 5th inning, and wanted to go down there and win. Like we've talked before, we expect to win every time we play. But I was proud of how competitive they were through the 5 innings. Wish we could have pitched better out of the bullpen to keep the game closer. But it didn't go for us that way. I think producer Brad's telling me the Clemson's still ranked 4th this week. So they held tight at 4. But yeah, we learned a lot. And really the message leaving Clemson late Wednesday, because we were on the ACC network, so we didn't play until 7 p.m. So we didn't get out of there until probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock to head back to Charlotte, was, hey, let's move on from this quick, because we're getting on a plane tomorrow to go down to our second conference series at FAU. So let's learn, let's sleep on it, and let's wake up tomorrow ready to go back and win again. So that was kind of the message leaving Clemson. Like, we got to shake this quick. We know that we've got to pitch better out of the bullpen to stay competitive in the game. And I know we're about to talk about the FAU series, but, we went down to FAU Thursday and, I thought they did just that. We had a great practice and, here we go into the series.
Coach, this, we're going to do the baseball show a little later in the evening, and they've got a bus story too. And, and I think I haven't heard the whole story yet, but I think their bus story might top yours.
It definitely tops ours. 100% it tops ours. So all of you that listen to that podcast, or you might have listened to it by the time you hear this one. But yeah, our story with the oil leak does not compare to their story that happened in Reston with their bus. So buckle up for that one. Yeah.
So that might, if you don't normally make the baseball show, you might want to check that one out this week, because I feel like this bus story is going to be epic. It was also cool seeing the Niners. I hate to say it this way, but getting to tune in and see the Niner gals on regular TV, just into ACC network. It was pretty cool to get to do that.
Yeah. For us, like, anytime we get to be on national television live broadcasts, we were on the ACC network on Wednesday night. I did some prep work with the people that called the game a couple of days prior. It's just a really cool opportunity for me and our program to tell our story and to tell what we're about. And, it's just such great exposure for us on all fronts, for our current players, our fans, our community, our future Niners that have already committed or signed, and then the ones that we're actively recruiting. So it's a big deal. And we're really excited anytime that we can be on, live national television.
And they interviewed you from the dugout too.
Yeah. I think in the 3rd, it was 2-1 at that point. So we were in the thick of it during that interview.
Nah, you handled it great. I thought, I was sitting there thinking to myself, somebody's watching this going, man, somebody should start a podcast with her. And I was
too bad they already have.
So, all right. So let's move on to this weekend. As you did a great job foreshadowing there. The Niners did travel down to Boca for a matchup with FAU. Friday night got off to a great start, convincing 8-2 win in FAU. You got Sam Gress back out there again. She picked up the W along with 10 Ks, which I believe was a career high for her.
Yeah.
Ashley Washington, who has just continued on, she had a double and a triple. Anna Devereaux and Kaya Garrett both doubled. You're going to notice a theme in all these recaps this week, by the way, and you'll probably end up mentioning this. You're going to hear Anna Devereaux's name a lot. So Cass Krupa homered. Boo left the yard twice on the defensive front. Anna Devereaux made one of the more impressive grabs you'll see in left field, diving in, making a outstanding. Yeah, there's a great still shot of it. Full horizontal extension there. Makes the diving catch. And then she had the presence of mind to pop up and throw the runner out at third. So just an all-around performance before we move into Saturday, which I know you guys ended up doing a doubleheader because of the weather. Kevin, why don't you tell us about Saturday? Then we'll talk about the FAU series.
All right. Game one, the Owls even up the series, going beating the Niners 4-0. So that set up a deciding game in the series on Saturday afternoon. Niners scored a pair of runs in the seventh, forced extra innings before Ashley Washington hit the go-ahead home run in the ninth, top of the ninth inning. More on Ashley later. So Sam Gress pitched all 9 innings, pick up the 9th victory of the season. Niners get a series win, but big road series win for Charlotte in the second weekend of Conference USA season. Coach, talk a little about the weekend.
Yeah. Well, as our travel saga continues, we got back super late from Clemson Wednesday night. It was, I don't think I got back to my house until 1:30 or so. Luckily, we had an afternoon flight, so we flew out of Charlotte direct into West Palm Beach at 2:45. But we were delayed, of course. That's kind of just the way that it's going these days with our travel. It was nice being direct and a shorter flight. So that was good. But we were a little delayed leaving Charlotte, and we had planned to practice, about 2 hours once we got to FAU, and we ended up only having about 60 minutes with the delay by the time we got our bags, got on the bus, and we went straight from the airport to the FAU stadium and, through, stretched, jogged, did some defense, got a little hitting in, did a couple bullpens, and then blinked, and it had been an hour. Our time was up. So, but it was important for us to still get to the field. We've got some that have played there before, and we've got some that have never been there. So it's just really important to familiarize, yourself with the kind of field they have, the surface, everything that, comes along with playing on the road. So we took advantage of that, and we got there about 7 p.m., which would have been about middle, first half of the game on Friday night. So we were able to see how the sun set on the field, where the shadows were, all that good stuff. Felt good about that. And, Friday night was electric, and it definitely started with the tone that Anna set in the bottom of the first defensively for us. As I said a couple of weeks ago, this I think is podcast 7. I think I said in podcast 3 or 4, you're going to start to see Anna Devereaux in the lineup more and more as she has gotten healthier, here in the first half of the season. So we started her in left, and she made a really fantastic play for us. Went and grabbed the ball in foul territory, doubled the girl off. And I just think from that moment on, we didn't let up from that play. That was kind of the tone that was set from the start. Sam Gress had a career high, 10 strikeouts. It is a career high for her. And so it was awesome all the way around. I'm looking back at my notes here, and let's see, I think we had multiple hits from Ashley Washington. This is what happens when you play so many games. You got to make sure you got your info right. Multiple hits from Ashley, from Cass. Man, I have to stop and just shout out Cass Krupa for the offensive week that she had. So the Louisville, the Clemson, and our 3 FAU games, she was really good for us offensively in week 6. I thought she might get player of the week in Conference USA, but someone beat her out a little bit there. But she was really close. One of the top performers in the conference for the week for sure. Multiple hits from Bailey. Bailey, I'm sure everyone that follows us saw the graphic that Bailey broke Conference USA's home run career record with 62 homers. So that's just that right there made the trip. It was so special and so exciting. She has worked so hard, and she's kind of been a little bit up and down the last couple of weeks offensively, and has just kept her head down in the cage, working hard. And I thought that she looked like herself in the box this weekend and obviously got great results from that. So really proud for her to continue to put her stamp, not only for the program, but for the conference. Maya Stevenson, who used to play at Marshall, transferred from Ole Miss, held the record. And so now with those 2 homers, Bailey broke it. And I'm not so sure who the next person up is. I need to see how big the gap is there. I need to ask our SID about that. But really proud of Bailey. I'm going down my list here. Kaya Garrett had a big pinch hit for us. And, Kaya got a start in game 2, but she got pinch hit opportunities in game 1 and game 3. And she was just a really big highlight for the entire program. The way that she handled herself in those pinch hit opportunities came in clutch for us. But we had 12 hits on the night. And when you have 12 hits and 10 strikeouts, the odds are in your favor that you're going to win the game. And we did. It was really great.
To your point about Cass, I was just looking at my notes from last week, comparing them to this week. Normally when you're hitting 366 and slugging 535, you've got to do a lot of hitting just to maintain those numbers. She actually raised them both. She's now hitting 398 and slugging 580. So she's adding 30 points during the week when she was already hitting phenomenal numbers. So just a great week for Cass.
Yeah, that is something really impressive to me personally. It's just, I feel like she's getting better and better. It's hard to imagine that, especially with our strength of schedule, which going into the FAU series, our strength of schedule was second in the country. So it had elevated playing Clemson last week. So yeah, Cass continues to be challenged in the box, and she continues to answer to anyone that's in the circle throwing against her. And so, yeah, she keeps getting better and better. And I think that she's going to continue to do that these next few weeks in conference. So it's exciting.
Coach, it's kind of a homecoming weekend for Ashley Washington being from Florida. Looked it up. I think she hit for the cycle on the weekend, a single, double, triple, homer. So that's pretty impressive. Also saw a lot of green on TV, especially Friday. I saw some green FAU shirts in the crowd, but
yeah.
Talk a little bit about Ashley Washington heading back home and having a big weekend.
Yeah, well, first of all, when you are the away team and you're with the Niners, you don't have to worry about St. Patrick's Day because that was Friday for us. So we were green automatically. We didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's a special situation whenever you get to go back and play in front of your family or your hometown. We did that week 2 with Ella Chansey, went back to Athens. So yeah, this was homecoming for Ashley Washington, and anybody that knows the Washington clan, that is a big crew, and they run in a big pack. And so when they're present, they're very felt, and we appreciate their support so much. They filled the middle section of FAU softball stadium. They were all in the middle section, so right behind home. And I just was proud of her for the performance that she had in front of her family. I'm always proud of them when they perform well, and even when they don't. But just to see someone have so much fun and have so much success on the field in front of the people they love the most, that's just what it's about. And the ball that she hit out, man, she hit power to right field, right center. And when it came off the bat, Taylor, who was standing next to my right, she was like, "Ooh, I haven't seen her hit a ball like that in a while." And we've seen her hit a lot lately. She crushed it. So, but yeah, she just led our offense at the top. That's been her role, really since the second week of season. And so we're really proud of her for performing like that in front of her family, and thankful for them for being there and bringing so many fans in the stands. I think there were definitely more Niners than there were FAU fans, 100%. And that just kind of leads me to thinking all of our parents that just continue to show up for us week in and week out, no matter where we're at. We have the same crowd, whether we're in Arizona, whether we're in Boca Raton, or whether we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. And, it might not seem like a big deal, but it is. When you play on the road and to know that you're going to have fans in the stands, I think it gives our kids a lot of confidence and, just a lot of peace knowing that they've got people there that are going to cheer them on. And it was a rowdy crew this weekend. I think they tailgated in the parking lot. It was really hot. It was, the mid 80s on Saturday. So yeah, there they are.
There we go.
Yeah. So they had a lot of fun, which was really cool to see. And then they brought that energy to the stands when the game started. Unfortunately for the home plate umpire in game 3, Andy Crupitt and Carl Tisdale found out his name. His name was Daryl, and they did not let Daryl breathe in game 3. They were on him the entire game.
I really wouldn't know what you mean. I've never done anything like that. Have you, Kevin?
Well, Nick, I was going to say, you probably need to take some notes from those guys.
Maybe so. I mean, I've heard about things like that happening. I don't know that I've ever really been a part of it, but I've heard about it.
Sure. I know. You guys are just such angels in the stands at the Hayes and at the Sioux.
We respectfully disagree a little bit.
Respectfully disagree.
I respectfully disagree with the umpires. A lot of games we play as well.
Well, was that seems like there was the
Clemson game.
Clemson. You weren't demonstrative, but they got a good camera shot of it. You walked right up to him and you said what you had to say. Mm-hmm. And I'm just glad you weren't saying it to me.
Yeah. I mean, he called a strike in the other batter's box. I mean, it was not even close. I think it was, I don't even remember who was on at the moment. I have to go back and look at my notes, but I think it was strike 2. It changed the count completely. I mean, it was a bad call. It was a really bad call. I was not a fan of the home plate umpire at Clemson. We won't name the name, but well, Daryl was at FAU. I was trying to.
It's not Daryl.
I was trying to almost with the beating that Andy Crupitt and Carl Tisdale was giving him from the stands. I was trying to encourage Daryl as the game was going on. I'm like, hey man, like you got it. Like don't listen to them. I'm just kidding.
Y'all were playing good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I was trying to be good cop in that one because they were all over him. But it was awesome. I mean, just the energy they brought from the stands. And again, we're just so thankful for everyone that takes the time and the investment to travel and watch us play. And when we're on the road post game, like we played the double on Saturday because of the weather forecast. Our kids are able to spend time with their parents and their families on the road after we get back to the hotel, which I just think makes such a difference for them. We're around each other every day, all day, practice, travel. I mean, now since August, and they got to see them some in December over Christmas break, but they don't get to spend a ton of time with them, so they get to go post game and have dinner with their family. And, I think it's nice. And it's just honestly for me, like, it's just kind of a way of saying like, we really appreciate you being here. Like, please spend time together.
Yeah. That Coach, photo, by the way, was courtesy of Lori Elkins. I say courtesy. It's not like we asked her permission. So, Lori, if you're upset about us using your picture, just sue us, and it'll all work out. But I don't think she minds.
No, she's bringing a huge crew this week to Virginia Tech, because that's up near, kind of closer to them. So she's bringing, she kind of made it seem like she's bringing the whole town of Nitro to Blacksburg on Wednesday. So we'll see. But I think we're going to have another great crowd. But speaking of Lori Elkins, if she's listening to this, I hope she made her connection. Last night we were delayed again out of West Palm back into Charlotte, and she was on the flight with us, not in our party, but she had booked on the same flight. And everyone that was, staying in Charlotte, we all stayed seated as all the connections rushed off the plane. All of a sudden I saw Lori rush by my row trying to get back home last night. So I hope she made her connection late in Charlotte.
Yeah. So Blacksburg, you have been warned. Nitro is coming.
Coach, before we move on, I will say that someone nominated your conversation with the umpire at Clemson for our play of the week, but it didn't quite make the cut. So
it's about the kids. It's not about me.
Well, speaking of about the kids, so we got a little thing to roll out here for you, and we know we are aware that the Niner gals watch this, mainly I think, Coach, to see if they can find stuff to like troll you about. I mean, they could troll us, but they just wouldn't get very far because we don't care. We'll just roll with it. But so There has been that. So let me set the stage this way. Next week is Niner Nation Gives, which if you're not familiar is the week every year that the entire university comes together and tries to support different projects and different things happening on campus and support students. Okay. So we have two alums that quite frankly have gotten into a Twitter spat. I guess, is that a good word, Kevin? Spat?
Yeah, it works.
It works. Okay. So Jimmy Touchstone and Randy Peterson have gotten into a full-on Twitter spat about basically who loves Charlotte softball more between the two of them. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? So this is the way it's going. And they tried to drag us into it. Okay. They tried to get us like Kevin and I were going to referee this argument or something. And we're like, that's not what we do here. But we have through the arbitration process, we have gotten a way for them to solve this. Okay. And it plays in nicely to what the girls are doing and Niner Nation Gives. All right. So follow me here, Coach. What the Niner gals are going to have the opportunity to do, all right, is they are going to have the opportunity to vote, each one of them. We have what? You have 23 on the roster?
Yeah, 23.
All 23 Niner gals have a vote to either cast for Randy or for Jimmy. Well, we're gonna repackage this on Twitter. Their argument has made a mess of it. We're gonna have to clean it up. Each vote is worth $49. The guy that gets, as the guys get votes, each vote's worth $49. So at the end, and you've got an odd number, so somebody's going to win this vote, and whoever gets the most votes is going to pay the most money to Charlotte softball. So, and they're going to do that next week during Niner Nation Gives. So Ashley, I don't know how this started. I don't know why it started, but we've turned it into a way for you to get money. How's that?
Well, I'm all on board for that. And I can tell you, Randy Peterson and Jimmy Touchstone, I mean, no greater people. I get text messages from both of them, win, lose, no matter what's happening. I mean, they're just such big fans and supporters of our program, and they love watching our team play. And even on Twitter, I mean, they are just probably our most active, besides you guys, Nick and Kevin. They're just our most active, interactive people on Twitter with our account. So we just are appreciative, and I'm excited to see how this ends. Get a vote from all 23 players of who supports. So it's who's the bigger fan of Charlotte softball? Is that what we're determining?
Yeah, that's what we're going with. Okay. I don't know how they got to arguing about this, but they did. And if you want to go out there, look up Jimmy Touchstone and Randy Peterson on Twitter. They're both following Diamond Niner Report, so you'll be able to get to them that way. And
I just hope I don't have to vote. I'm going to take myself out of it. I don't want to vote. I'll let the 23 players vote.
Well, why not? I mean, if that would be another $49 if they let you have a vote.
It would. I have to put some thought into that. Probably won't have to vote until next week.
Well, good thing you won't have to break the tie, so because it's an odd number of players. So
yeah, exactly. I need to stay out of that one. Randy and Jimmy they're both equal fans in my mind.
Yeah, I want to stay out of it too. I think
we're gonna get that together on Twitter. So Niner gals, you all 23 of you have a vote, and I think maybe they're even gonna campaign for you or something. These guys are crazy. I think they're planning videos or something. I don't know. Like I said, we're just the messengers here on the Diamond Niner Gals podcast. But Diamond Niner Gals, you get to vote on something, and two middle-aged men are arguing over who is a bigger fan of you. So that's cool.
It is cool. It is really cool. And all jokes aside, I mean, we really do appreciate it. And with Niner Nation Gives on the horizon and our preparation for that, we are so thankful for everyone that gives any amount. I know Randy and Jimmy are doing the $49 per vote, but I mean, we appreciate every dollar that someone gives to our program and the support that we have. And our hope is that if you give any amount of money, that you come watch us play, so that you could see just like really what you're investing in, because it is a fantastic group. And on the field, they've got so much energy, and they play the game so hard, and they love the game so much. They're a lot of fun to watch, which as their head coach, a lot of times in the game, I'm just wowed by them a lot. When the game's happening, some things that they do, some things they say, I'm their biggest fan too.
Yeah. So let's we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, Kevin. Let's move on to the week ahead, which is brought to you by our friends at One Campus. We want to remind you that the deadline to have your orders for softball gear included in this upcoming batch is March 24th. You can check them out at onecampusco.com. If you haven't got a chance to check out their softball specific gear, maybe consider placing an order with those. I think producer Brad told me he's broke now because he just spent like all his money with them. So moving on, Wednesday, you've got a midweek matchup, and you alluded to this. The town of Nitro is descending upon Blacksburg, Virginia, Wednesday at 5 p.m. You guys are taking on Virginia Tech. The Hokies are 22-5 after sweeping Georgia Tech this past weekend. Coach, I got to ask you, who makes these schedules?
I have no idea. I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is another big one for us. Virginia Tech came to the Sioux last year in the early March. We're playing them a little bit later than we did last year. And, we beat them at our place. And I really respect Pete and their staff and everything they've done with the program since he's taken over it the last few seasons. They're a tough team, a lot like Clemson, going down to Clemson last week. So we'll just go up to Blacksburg, a little different direction. But, they're going to be tough. And again, I think we're going to have to play our best in every aspect of the game. We will lace up and expect to win, and we will play hard. And I think that coming off of the performance that we've had this past weekend, we practice tomorrow, so we'll prep a lot for their pitching staff and their hitters tomorrow. So I'm really excited to see the team compete up there. I have actually never played a game at Virginia Tech, so this will be my first time going there in my playing career and my coaching career. I've never been there. So this is a first for me, and we're really excited about it. I think they currently lead the country in home runs. I was talking about that with Coach White earlier today. So they can hit. We expect them to be able to hit. So we're going to need to be our best in the circle, from the starter all the way into the bullpen. Lindley is their ace right now. She's pitched 94 innings and struck out 143. So they're definitely going to be a tough, and that's just who we are. We look forward to those tough matchups and tough opponents, and we look forward to being challenged playing Virginia Tech on Wednesday.
Coach, that black puffy jacket that you're fond of?
Yeah, it's going to be a little different than Florida. The puffy did not make the trip to Boca. I need everyone to know. I've gotten so many comments about my puffy jacket, and I am naturally a very cold person. So if it's 50 degrees outside, everyone that knows me knows that I need some type of puffy jacket. But it did not make the trip to Boca, but it will make the trip to Blacksburg.
You might want to see if you can get an even bigger one to put over that one or something, because trust me, it's going to be cold.
Yes. I'll be looking forward to playing the game and getting back on the bus and coming home, beating the Hokies and getting back on the bus. I usually have hand warmers. I have hand warmers stuck everywhere in my pockets, and that's my lifesaver while the game's actually going on.
All right, Coach. So after the midweek, we return home back to the Sioux.
Mm-hmm.
Got a big series, Conference USA series, hosting UTEP. Games are Friday at 6, Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon.
Mm-hmm.
The Miners are 2-4 in the league so far, and 10-16 overall. They lost the series at home to WKU this past weekend. Coach, tell us a little bit about UTEP.
It's a great opportunity for us to win another conference series. Our goal going into the weekend will be to sweep. Just in transparency, that's what our goal will be, is to win all 3 games. In my time here at Charlotte, we have not played UTEP. So I'm thinking back. We were set to play them the COVID season, which was my first season coaching the program, and we didn't make it that far, obviously. So we haven't played them yet, and I'm thankful we're playing them here in Charlotte and not in El Paso, Texas. I've actually been there. I've coached there before, so I'm excited that they're coming here to Charlotte. But for us, we'll take them serious. They beat Western Kentucky a game this past weekend. And anyone in our conference has the ability to beat anybody on any given day. The conference is strong again. I think it's 8th currently in the RPI. So as a conference, so the message to the team, once we get back from Blacksburg, we'll practice on Thursday. Our Thursday practice will be focused on UTEP and prepping for UTEP. So we won't change our process. We won't change our mindset. We'll approach UTEP just like we approach Virginia Tech and Clemson and Duke and, all the other tough opponents that have been on our schedule. So, I think we are on a mission to make our mark here in Conference USA this year as our last year in the conference before we move to the American. And our kids know that what we want to do and the mark that we want to make, the championship we want to win, like we've got to go through UTEP this weekend. That's the next roadblock. And so I think you're going to come to the Sioux and you're going to see them play really hard and get after it. And, we expect to win 3 games.
Just a quick look at the standings, Coach. I know it's 2 weekends, but if you take out Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky, who are both 2-1. I guess they have a series against one another that's a little later in the season, maybe when after the rest of the league is concluded play. But you got North Texas at 5-1, and then you guys are sitting there. You're the sole team 4-2. So only 2 weeks in, but this is where you want to be, right? You're right in the hunt, right in the thick of things, and
yeah.
Honestly, just from my fan perspective, I think, and Kevin, we spend time talking about this, but sort of the 800-pound gorilla, if you will, always seems to be North Texas. So it was always going to come down to, or you're hoping it's always going to come down to Charlotte and North Texas. So it's already kind of, the early indicators are it's kind of setting itself up that way.
Yeah. I think Rodney DeLong and his staff, they've done a great job, and, they have really good players. They have talented players all over the field. They have really good arms. In the circle, if you follow Conference USA softball, you've already seen that they've had some success. They play a tough non-conference schedule. So, I'm excited for that series. I know it's coming up here in the next couple of weeks, but our focus really, we work week to week. Our focus is Virginia Tech and then getting back home, and our focus is UTEP. And, just excited to kind of be in the hunt, like in order to get where we want to go, like we need to stay at the top, and, we want to play really good competition. And I'm excited for the North Texas series in Dallas. We went there last year to play the conference tournament at their place. So we are familiar with their territory and their field. And that's going to be a really, really fun series for us because it might end up being the series that determines the championship, at the end of the year. So, but I really want our team not to take any conference opponent lightly. They're going to get up for the North Texas series. Like, I'm not going to have to motivate them much to do that. They see the standings, they know where we stand and who we're competing against. But we just kind of want to stay level-headed and not get too high, not get too low. That's something we talk about internally as a program is staying very even, and not riding our emotions, but, just sticking with what we know works for us. And, no matter if we win or lose or we're playing well or we didn't play well, it's like we're going to stick with our process. And, and part of that is playing every opponent the same.
Kevin, how weird is it for us to be on the show getting to talk about North Texas?
Well, North Texas and UTEP, because neither one has a baseball program.
Mm-hmm. I cannot. It's very bizarre to me that North Texas doesn't have a baseball team. I mean, that is just such an area for baseball in the country. It's right. Maybe someday they will.
Really weird for teams in Texas. I mean, that's big baseball country.
It is, yeah.
Coach, earlier you talked about Boo Vinoy
Mhm.
breaking the Conference USA home run record. It seems like every week there's another record dropping. She's tied the 49ers all-time hit career record at 234. She's
Mhm.
tied that. Her next hit, she'll be the sole owner of that record, along with multiple other 49er records. Still, with half a season to play, she's gonna have a great placement throughout the record books for 49er history. Hopefully, likely it'll happen on the road, but maybe we'll see it at the Sioux.
Yeah, we love to break records at the Sioux in front of our, our home base, our community, but we'll break them wherever we can, like wherever we are. We can celebrate it here, and we can celebrate it on Twitter, and with whoever is with us. So the team was really pumped for her. That was special for me to see how excited they were for her. They didn't know, especially a lot of our new players. I mean, they know that she's really close on a lot of records and at the top of all the stats in the record books. But we got back to the hotel, and we let everyone know that Boo had gone up to shower and change for dinner, and some of us were down in the lobby. So we told some of the players that she had broken the record with 62, and then she came back down the elevator to dinner, and as soon as she walked in our meeting space where our dinner was, our catered dinner, she got a big holler round of applause from the team. And they're just so excited for her. They just know how much it means to her and the work that she's put in and the career that she's had. And they also, like, they're proud, that she's a Niner, and proud that they're a Niner. So they know what a big deal it is for our program and for our logo to be represented at such high standard.
I don't know if you guys saw this. Haven't had a chance to talk about any with you about this, but there was the story this weekend that a player, a young woman at Brown, made NCAA history by playing in a baseball game. So, Coach, if that's going to become a thing, you better watch it. The competition might come from across Phillips Road over at the Hayes. They might try to steal Boo. We know she could get one out of the Hayes. We got that on film. So
yeah, we know she can do that. I did see that on Twitter. I don't know much about her or much about the situation, but it popped up on my news feed, I think yesterday when we were traveling home. And how cool. I mean, you just continue to see stuff like that happen, across sports, and people are breaking barriers and doing things for the first time. And, I'm a big fan. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could happen. Boo could suit up. I mean, why not?
Oh, she definitely could. She could hang with anybody, no matter where she's at.
I was kidding with the baseball staff. I was like, I think what you need to do is just bring her over, when the schedule's lined up, bring her over and have her take BP with the team just to throw the other team off that Boo's over there taking BP with the baseball squad.
It probably would be the topic of conversation in the other dugout for sure.
Especially when she was putting them out.
Yeah. We'll have to talk to Coach Phil about that.
Yeah, we'll make a few phone calls. We'll talk to a few people.
Yeah.
We'll put some calls in. Okay, folks, I think it's time to wrap this one up. We've covered a lot and had a blast here, but we're going to put another episode of the Diamond Niner Gals podcast in the books. We appreciate all of you tuning in for the show. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to click subscribe on the YouTube channel and turn on notifications to be notified of fresh content. You can also find the Diamond Niner Gals podcast on Spotify. You can also find us on social media. Diamond Niner Report is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, but still and never TikTok. We love hearing from you. Feel free to hit us up on social or just say hello the next time you see us. For Kevin, producer Brad, Coach Ashley, this is Nick saying, we'll see you at the Sioux.
See you at the Sioux.